There is a kind of waiting people rarely speak of out loud. It is not waiting for a bus, not waiting for test results. It is waiting for a phone call, waiting for someone to ask how you are, waiting for a child to stop by, not because they need something, but simply because they want to see your face, waiting for someone to notice that you are still here, still in need of love, still wanting to be remembered. Turning 70 does not take from people as much as others often assume. It does not only take health or quickness. Sometimes it also takes away the feeling that you still matter deeply to someone. And that quiet loss, the kind with no shape, the kind never spoken aloud, can hurt far more than the losses people easily see from the outside. And so a person sits there in the familiar house, staring at a silent phone, wondering what they did wrong, or perhaps they did nothing wrong at all, and life has simply turned in another direction, and the children now have lives of their own, while you are still here, with hands still waiting to be held. Buddhism teaches that suffering does not begin with the absence of those we love. It begins with the way we cling to the hope that their presence is what makes us whole. This is not a reproach. It is an invitation to walk together through the deepest layers of that waiting, until at last you discover the one thing no child, no matter how loving, can ever give you in place of yourself. 1. The love you have been waiting for, you once had it already. There is something very few people say plainly, yet many older adults live with it every day. The feeling that if their children do not call, do not stop by, do not check in, it must mean they are no longer loved. That feeling arrives very quietly, not like a punch, more like water seeping into a wall, slowly but steadily, until the wall begins to stain and you can no longer remember how white it once was. You look at the family group chat and see everyone talking to each other, yet no one sends you a message to ask how you are. You think back to your last birthday, when your child sent a short text but did not call. You remember the holiday, when they came home and then left again so quickly, busy with work, with their own children, with the relentless rhythm of modern life. And you remain there, in a house that feels both noisy and empty, asking yourself, do I still matter to them? But here is what that pain does not tell you. Your children's love for you has never disappeared. It has only changed its form. When they were young, that love was unmistakable, something you could see and touch. They needed you, they called for you, they cried, and only you could soothe them. Your importance then felt as obvious as daylight. But when they grow older, that need no longer shows itself in the same visible way, not because their love has faded, but because their lives have become wide enough that they no longer have to speak your name every day. And sadly, the mind often translates that into a deeply mistaken sentence: they do not love me anymore. Buddhism offers a very gentle way of seeing this. The Buddha taught that the human mind has a tendency to assign meaning to absence. We see an empty space and fill it with fear. We hear silence and read it as rejection. But emptiness is not always loss. Sometimes it is simply life flowing in its own direction. The question is not, do my children love me? The deeper and more important question is, have I placed my entire sense of being loved into the hands of someone else, even those I gave birth to and raised? And if the answer is yes, then this is the moment to pause, not to blame yourself, but to understand that this pain is deeply human, deeply common, and very much capable of being healed, not by your children, but by you. 2. Expectation, the gentlest trap of love. No one is born knowing they are expecting too much. Expectation does not arrive in the form of a demand. It comes softly, woven into love, into sacrifice, into all the years you gave everything you had to care for your children. You stayed awake through nights of their fever. You went hungry to save money for their education. You carried burdens you never wanted to carry so they would not have to. And somewhere, deep inside, you began to feel not quite as a clear thought, but more as a quiet assumption that one day all of this would be returned. That when you grew old, your children would be there. That love would flow back toward you, the way water finds its way to the sea. That is expectation. Not evil, not selfish, simply human. But Buddhism teaches something that may feel uncomfortable the first time we hear it. Suffering does not come from others failing to return our love. Suffering comes from attaching our love to a condition, even when that condition seems completely fair. When you love your children and expect them to express that love in a certain way by calling, by visiting, by checking in, you may unknowingly turn love into a contract. And when that contract is not fulfilled, you suffer. Not because your children do not love you, but because your love has been anchored to an expectation you never spoke aloud. What makes unspoken expectation so dangerous is that it slowly becomes resentment without a name. You are not angry at your children. You cannot be, because they have done nothing truly wrong. They are simply living their lives. But you are still in pain. And when you do not know how to name that pain, how can you begin to heal it? Some older people live with this pain for years. Each time their children come to visit, they count the hours they stay. Each time they leave early, it feels as though they have lost something they did not even realize they were competing for. They smile and say, "Go on, leave early so you can rest." But after the door closes, they sit down and feel even emptier than they did before the visit began. That is expectation doing its work, quiet, persistent, and more cruel than any direct rejection. Letting go of expectation does not mean stopping loving your children. It means loving them without placing conditions on that love. Loving them because they are your children, not because they have repaid you, or someday will, in the way you hoped. That is a deeper kind of love, a freer kind of love, and one that brings far less pain for you and for them. 3. The role has changed, and that is not a loss. There comes a moment in life that people rarely notice while it is happening, yet when they look back, they realize it changed everything. It is the moment when you are no longer the person most needed. When your children were young, you were the center of their world. You decided their meals, their clothes, their school, their outings. You were the one they ran to when they were afraid, when they were hurt, when they did not know what to do. Your presence was the surest thing in their young lives. And then, very slowly, that changes. Not because they do not love you, but because they grow up. They have a spouse. They have children of their own. They have work, a home, worries and joys of their own, in which you are no longer the central figure. And you, even while feeling proud of that, even while knowing it is the success of a lifetime of parenthood, still feel as though something has been lost. As though you have stepped off the stage, yet remain standing in the wings, looking toward the lights, wondering whether anyone still remembers you. That feeling is real, and it does not make you selfish, it makes you human. But here is what Buddhism reminds us. We suffer because we attach our identity to a role, and when that role changes, we feel as though the self is disappearing with it. You have been a mother, a father, for decades. It is a beautiful role, a sacred role, and a meaningful one. But you are not only that role. You are the human being who has lived within that role. And when the role becomes smaller, you are still there, still whole, still complete. The trouble is that we often do not believe this. We have spent so many years living for others that when no one needs us in the old way anymore, we begin to feel that we no longer know who we are, and that emptiness, the emptiness of identity, of role, of being needed, we unconsciously ask our children to fill, with phone calls, with visits, with their reassurance that we still matter. But your children cannot fill that emptiness, not because they do not want to, but because it is an emptiness only you can fill by returning to yourself, by rediscovering what makes you you, apart from all the roles you have played. The mother of grown children can still be a woman learning to paint. The father of married children can still be a man writing in his journal, growing vegetables, or sitting in meditation each morning. The role may change, but the person is not lost. 4. Loneliness and being alone, two very different things. There are afternoons when the house seems larger than usual. The television is not enough to fill the silence. A cup of tea grows cold with no one to share it with. The last light of day slants through the window and falls across the empty room, and you sit there feeling something heavy, something nameless. Many people call it loneliness. But in truth, two very different things are often being given the same name. One is being alone, the physical state of having no one beside you. The other is loneliness, the feeling of being cut off, unseen, misunderstood, as though you no longer belong anywhere. A person can stand in the middle of a crowd and still feel lonely, and a person can be alone without feeling lonely at all, because they are with themselves in a way that is whole and peaceful. The problem is not that you are alone. The problem is that you have not yet learned how to be with yourself without feeling deprived. All your life, you have lived for others. You filled your time with caring, worrying, pleasing, responding. Being alone was never a choice. It has only arrived now, when your children have moved into lives of their own, when your spouse is no longer here or no longer walking in step with you, when life has narrowed into a quiet house and a string of silent days. And because you were never taught how to live with aloneness, it begins to feel like a punishment, like proof that you have been left behind, like a sign that life has passed and you are no longer needed. But Buddhism teaches something very different about being alone. The Buddha once sat alone beneath the Bodhi tree, not because he had been abandoned, but because that was the deepest place to return to himself. Aloneness, when received rather than resisted, can become one of the greatest gifts of old age. It gives you the time and space to hear the inner voices that all the noise of life kept you from hearing for so many years. It gives you the chance to discover what you truly love, what you truly want, who you truly are, apart from all the expectations of others. But this requires a shift in the way we see. Instead of asking, "Why has no one called me today?" try asking, "How do I want to spend this time for myself today?" Instead of seeing emptiness as deprivation, try feeling it as space. Space to breathe, to sit quietly, to read, to watch the clouds, to remember the things you loved long before life placed so many responsibilities upon your shoulders. Loneliness is what happens when you wait for someone else to fill the empty space. Being alone is when you become your own companion. From the outside, the two may look the same, but on the inside, they are worlds apart. 5. What you gave cannot be asked back, and that is a good thing. There is a truth that is gentle, yet difficult to accept. everything you have done for your children, all the sacrifices, the sleepless nights, the years of worry, the things you gave up for them, all of it has already gone into life. It cannot be taken back. It cannot be priced. It cannot be measured by how many times your children call or come to visit. And that is not unfair. That is the nature of real love. Real love is not a transaction. It carries no invoice. It has no due date. When you give something out of love, not out of a desire to be repaid, then it no longer belongs to life's system of keeping score. It belongs to something larger, gentler, and beyond measure. But the human mind does not easily accept this. We grow up in a world where everything has a price. You do well, and you are praised. You contribute, and you are recognized. You sacrifice, and you deserve something in return. And when that system of exchange no longer works within the family, when children grow up and live their own lives without giving back in the way we had hoped, we begin to feel as though we have been cheated, not by our children, but by our own expectations. Buddhism calls this attachment to outcomes. We do something, yet we do not let the act go. We carry it with us like an unpaid debt, waiting for the day it will be settled. But letting go does not mean that what you did had no value. Quite the opposite. When you give without holding on to the hope of repayment, your love becomes freer, purer. It is no longer weighed down by invisible strings. And strangely enough, when you truly let go, when you stop carrying that invisible bill with you, you begin to see that what you did never needed repayment in order to matter. It already mattered. It mattered the very moment you did it. From the night you stayed awake because your child had a fever, from the meal you cooked while you yourself were exhausted. Those moments were already complete in themselves. They needed nothing more. Letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is allowing what you have done to rest quietly in memory like light, instead of dragging it through the mind's endless habit of comparison and account-keeping. 6. Loving yourself, something you were never taught. If you ask older people whether they have ever truly loved themselves, many will hesitate. Not because they hate themselves, but because they have never thought of it as something important. For many in their generation, self-love was seen as selfish. You were supposed to take care of your family first, your children first, your parents, your husband, your wife, your neighbors, your community. Yourself came later, or never at all. And then 70 years pass, and you realize that you have never truly asked yourself, what do I need? What do I want? What makes me feel that I am truly living rather than merely existing? That is not your fault. It is how you were raised, how your generation was shaped. But now, when the children have gone, when responsibilities have grown lighter, when life has narrowed into quieter days, this may be the first time in your life that you are able to learn it, to learn how to love yourself. Not because you have earned it through achievement, but simply because you are a human being, and human beings need care even from themselves. Buddhism teaches that compassion cannot flow only outward. It must begin within. Metta, loving kindness, is first offered to oneself, not because we are more important than others, but because a heart that is not loved cannot truly love anyone else. It is like a lamp without oil. No matter how much it wishes to give light to others, it cannot do so if it is empty within. What does self-love look like at 70? It is not something grand. It may be as simple as getting enough sleep without feeling lazy, eating a good meal without thinking you should save it for your children, sitting with your morning tea and doing nothing at all, simply drinking and looking out the window, reading a book you enjoy without feeling that it is indulgent, saying no to something that drains you. even if others may not understand. Those small acts, when done with awareness and kindness, are a form of meditation. They are the way you speak to your body and soul, saying, "I am still here. I still matter, not because someone else says so, but because I know it." And when you begin to love yourself in that small and honest way, something strange begins to happen. You wait less, not because you no longer love your children or no longer wish to be close to them, but because the empty space inside you, the space you kept trying to fill with their attention, has already been filled by you. 7. Peace does not come from the outside, it is built from within. There are older people who live with deep peace, not because their lives have been easier, not because their children call more often or visit more frequently, but because they have found something within themselves that cannot be taken away, no matter how life changes. True peace is not the feeling that everything is fine. It is the ability to sit with what is not fine without being swept away by it. It is not the absence of pain, but the refusal to let pain rule over you. You may still miss your children. You may still wish they would visit. You may still feel sadness in the long afternoons. Those feelings do not need to be pushed away. Buddhism does not teach us to become numb to emotion. It teaches us not to become imprisoned by emotion. That difference may seem small in words, but in real life, it changes everything. When you feel sad, and you know that you are sad, when you can observe that sadness as a guest who has come to visit and will one day leave, then you are not its prisoner. But when you feel sad and believe that the sadness will never pass, that it is proof you are unloved, that life itself has turned its back on you, then you are living inside a prison you have built with your own mind. Peace is built from very small moments, from taking a few minutes each morning to sit quietly, doing nothing, simply breathing, from noticing that today you are sad and allowing yourself to be sad without judgment, from finding one small thing, a ray of sunlight through the window, the scent of freshly cooked rice, the sound of rain, and letting it touch you. The most peaceful older people are not those who no longer feel pain. They are the ones who have learned how to live alongside pain and still find beauty in each day, even when that beauty is small, fleeting, and visible to no one else. Peace is not a destination. It is the way you walk, one step at a time, one day at a time, in this familiar house, with this familiar self, with a life that has changed so much from what you once imagined. 8. The rest of your life belongs to you. Do not live it in a waiting room. There is an image I want you to picture for a moment. Someone is sitting in a waiting room, hard chairs, yellow light, the steady hum of the air conditioner. That person sits there for hours, doing nothing, only waiting, waiting to hear their name called, waiting for someone to step out and say, "It is your turn now." Many older people are living the rest of their lives in exactly that way, not in some place outside, but inside their own homes, inside long days in which nothing seems remarkable, inside the quiet hope that a child will call, that someone will remember them, that life will somehow feel meaningful again. But a waiting room is not life, and living in a state of waiting is a way of refusing the present, refusing today with all the small things that are actually happening, simply to hold space for something that may never come. Buddhism speaks often about the present moment, not in the way of a slogan, but in a way that is practical and unsparing. This moment is the only thing you truly have. The past is finished. The future has not yet arrived. Only now, this breath, this light, this cup of tea, the feeling of your feet touching the floor is real. And if you spend most of the present waiting for something from the future or grieving something from the past, then you are letting the present pass without ever truly touching it. Turning 70 is not a time to sit and wait. It may be the most precious time in life, because for the first time, you no longer owe anyone anything. You no longer have to prove yourself. You no longer have to achieve anything. You no longer have to be someone for anyone else except yourself. You only need to be yourself. And that, if you allow yourself to see it, is a kind of freedom you may never have known in all your life. That freedom does not mean having no responsibilities. It means no longer being defined by them. You may still love your children. You may still care for your family. You may still be a mother, a father, but you no longer need to make that the whole of your identity. What remains when you set all those roles down? You remain. The man or woman who has lived through 70 years of this life with all its joys, sorrows, failures, and love, and kept going, that person deserves to live the remaining years not in a waiting room, but in the true light of life itself. So today, instead of asking, "Why has my child not called?" try asking, "What do I want to do today?" Nothing grand. Perhaps simply sit outside on the porch for a while. Write a few lines about the day. Cook a meal you love and have not made in a long time. Call an old friend, not to share your pain, but simply to hear each other's voice. Return to a book you loved many years ago, turning each page and remembering who you were when you first read it. Small things like these do not erase the longing for your children, but they remind you that life is still happening, right now, right here, and you are still a living part of it. This is not a replacement for the love of family. It is the solid ground beneath you, so that when that love does come, whether in small ways or great ones, you can receive it with gratitude instead of hunger. There is a line from the Buddhist teachings that I think of often as I write these words. Its meaning is this: peace cannot be found outside, because it was never there to begin with. That is not empty comfort. It is a deeply practical truth, one that can be lived today in the very house where you are sitting now. You do not need to go anywhere far away to find peace. You only need to stop looking for it in places where it could never truly be found. We have walked through many things together on this journey, pains that are not easy to name, longings we do not even realize we are carrying, expectations hidden inside love, roles that have changed while the heart has not yet caught up. And now, at the end of this journey, I want to tell you something very simple. You do not need to stop loving your children. You do not need to pretend that their absence does not make you miss them. You do not need to become someone who needs no one, hopes for no one, feels sadness for no one. What needs to change is not your feelings. It is the place where you build the foundation of your peace. If that foundation is built on your children's phone calls, on their visits, on their attention, then your peace will always remain fragile, because those things are outside your hands. They belong to the course of someone else's life. But if that foundation is built within yourself on understanding who you are, on your ability to be with yourself, on the love you offer to this very life of yours, then no one can take it away. Not because life will stop changing, but because you no longer place your peace in anyone else's hands. Your children love you in their own way. Their busy lives do not mean that you are unimportant, and the love you have planted through all those decades is still growing quietly in the small things they do each day that you may never see. And as for you, this remaining part of life belongs to you. Not for waiting, not for regret, but for living a little lighter, a little truer, and a little more peacefully with each passing day. Begin today. You do not need to begin with anything grand. Just one moment is enough. A cup of tea, a long breath, a glance out the window, and the quiet realization that life is still unfolding and you are still part of it. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is giving your own soul back its lightness. If what was shared today touched something in your heart, pause for a moment and sit with that feeling. You do not need to do anything more. Just be with it and know that you are not alone on this journey. We are still here, walking beside you, one step at a time.